Can you imagine a world without programmers? Only AI writing most of the code. If you think this is possible, when do you guys think it will happen? Guess what? December 2017, a group of researchers asked themselves, when will AI be writing most of the computer code out there? They estimated this could happen by 2040. Just 20 years from now. The thing is, we already might be seeing the start of that. There is this new AI tool, which is just announced by Microsoft called Copilot. This is an AI tool which helps developers write better code. They call it as AI Pair Programmer. So when a developer installs this Visual Studio extension, they say that this AI extension is like a guy with a good programming knowledge standing right next to you giving good coding suggestions. Now it's not publicly available yet, but you can join the waiting list for alpha testing. So now, let's see it's working in action. These are some real examples given by alpha testers. Let me show you one by one. In this, the tester writes some comments, and it automatically fills in the implementation details for him, and it's not just inserting a snippet, this is actual novel code. In this next example, or write a descriptive function name, it will automatically fill in the code details for you. Not only that, the developer can cycle through different suggestions, it will synthesize 10 different possible solutions, and the developer can pick which is best for him, and it happens very fast, like within 1 or 2 seconds it will generate the solution. Suppose you are in middle of a large code, it looks at the code you have already written in your project as context and attempts to generate new code to match it perfectly. There is no other application or tool which provides such functionality. So to be clear, Copilot is not a search engine searching from a list of snippets. GitHub Copilot actually synthesizes code suggestions. And it improves over time, as it will record whether you accept or reject its suggestions. So how it all works? GitHub Copilot works because of a deep learning model called Codex, which is basically a special version of GPT-3, which is another deep learning model, fine-tuned for programming tasks. Deep learning is the reason behind all of the recent AI advancements, which made machines a lot more smarter. What is deep learning and why has it attained so much popularity over recent years? If you see in Google Trends, the word deep learning gained popularity after 2012. Let's see when it all started and who started deep learning. Geoffrey Hinton did the fundamental research that brought about the AI revolution, which we are seeing right now. He is referred to as godfather of AI. In 1985, he theorized human brain was a neural network. He co-authored a paper in 1985, a multi-layered approach to machine learning called Boltzmann machine, which is the fundamental building block for deep neural network. If you Google search what's deep learning, you will come up with something like: deep learning is a type of machine learning that imitates the way humans gain certain types of knowledge. So when he was in an interview, he says, if you want to make an intelligent machine, you can do it 2 ways, you can program it or it can learn. We certainly were not programmed, so learning was the right way to go. To understand deep learning, imagine a baby whose first word is dog. The baby learns what a dog is and is not a dog by pointing to objects and saying the word dog. The parent says, yes, that is a dog, or no, that is not a dog. As the kid continues to point to objects, he becomes more aware of the features that all dogs possess. What the kid does, without knowing it's understanding the concept of dog. The average adult human brain contains approximately 100 billion neurons all interconnected with various strengths to achieve intelligence. Similarly, in deep neural network, there will be group or layers of interconnected artificial neurons communicating in such a way that each artificial neuron learns a very basic feature from any data. So in this example, if we give a program enough image data in the form of elephant and let it process and learn, and when we give image of a new elephant image that it never seen before, it would be able to tell it's an elephant with relative ease. For example, each neuron could represent a pixel in an image that the network is trying to learn. So now how this deep learning is changing the world for developers is: a programmer would have no idea how to program a computer to recognize an elephant. But he can create a program with a form of intelligence that learns to recognize an elephant. In 1985, he created this idea, but he was not able to make it work. He couldn't achieve anything much because of 2 reasons. In late 90s, he and his team was only able to create a program which recognizes handwritten digits. Using backpropagation technique inside deep learning, which is machines learning from their own mistakes. But after this in 2006, world finally caught up on the 2 problems. After 2000s, computing power started increasing exponentially. And second problem, training data is solved now due to exponential growth of internet. Geoffrey Hinton persuaded his dream continuously, even though everyone mocked him. In 2012, there is a research contest called ImageNet, which challenged teams to build computer vision systems that would recognize 1,000 objects, from animals to landscapes to people. In the third year of the annual ImageNet competition, at 2012, Geoffrey and his team created a deep neural network called AlexNet. AlexNet performed 75% success rate, which had 41% more success than previous models. This one event changed the entire world's view about artificial neural network. This one event started the modern AI revolution. After this, everyone started using deep neural networks in the image recognition challenge. Then soon ImageNet AI went to video, speech, games, etc. Today self-driving cars like Tesla use this deep learning techniques to learn about its environment. We saw a Google trend for deep learning in the previous slides, right? Geoffrey Hinton started this trend. Geoffrey Hinton and his team achieved this using the deep learning technique. He got the Turing Award at 2018, which is the most prestigious award in the AI development world. So, after 2012, more advanced deep neural AI came to the market. One such application is GPT-3. So what is GPT-3? GPT-3 is a deep learning model, which was introduced in May 2020. GPT-3 is a neural network machine learning model trained using internet data to generate any type of text. It is a deep learning algorithm that produces human-like text. Let me show you here are some examples of beta testers on Twitter. It can write news articles like this one, published by The Guardian. Yes, this news article was produced by a null. It can write computer code in any language. It can read an article, answer questions from the information in the article, and even summarize that article for you. How about making a mock-up website just by giving it a description? How about making a mock-up website by just copying and pasting a URL with a description? In this example, after receiving the input of a complicated explanation of Bitcoin, the IRS summarized it and explains it in simple terms. Here it demonstrates some understanding of objects. It can even explain computer code back to you in plain English or even suggests improvement. It can also generate pictures from text. Some of these things aren't new by themselves, but doing all of these things under the same algorithm is pretty impressive. The internet was buzzing when this got released. GPT-3 is developed by a San Francisco startup company called OpenAI that was co-founded by people like Elon Musk, Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI. It started in 2015 as a non-profit. GPT-3, which was introduced in May 2020. As you saw, this program is better than any prior program at producing text which could have been written by a human. It's just a massive neural network that's been trained on over 175 billion parameters. Why GPT-3 is this effective, or what made it so special? Before the release of GPT-3, the largest deep learning model was Microsoft's Turing NLG, introduced in February 2020, with a capacity of 17 billion parameters, less than a tenth of GPT-3's. The human brain has about 100 trillion parameters, or synapses. What we now call a really big model, like GPT-3, has 175 billion. It's 1,000 times smaller than the brain. GPT-3 can now generate pretty convincing text, and it's still tiny compared to the brain. So they realized they could make a lot of money and converted to a for-profit company in 2019. Soon after this shift, Microsoft announced $1 billion investment in 2019. Now Microsoft doesn't control OpenAI, but they did make a $1 billion investment. Then in September 2020, they announced they had licensed the exclusive use of GPT-3. Other companies can still use the API, but Microsoft is the only company that can truly take full advantage of the GPT-3 algorithm. That means Microsoft will be able to build products that nobody can really compete with. And that's how they created GitHub Copilot. And what they trained Copilot with to make it write code? Any guesses? Using publicly available source codes like GitHub and Stack Overflow. Well, in order to build useful AI, you need a ton of data. Stack Overflow is the 46th most heavily engaged site in the world. Luckily, over the last 12 years, developers have graciously donated their time and code to help other developers on the internet while foregoing their copyright to that content primarily on the website Stack Overflow, which was just acquired previous month for $1.8 billion on 2nd June 2021. For the time being, Stack Overflow will remain the same, a community-based, question-answer platform. It also takes code from public open source GitHub repos, now because it's generating unique code. I don't think it has to worry about any open source licensing requirements because this data is public. Microsoft can freely use it to build their AI. The deep learning model behind the data is GPT-3 or Generative Pre-trained Transformer 3, which is easily one of the most impressive AI products ever developed. People describe it as amazing, humbling, and terrifying. Microsoft acquired GitHub, a popular code repository service used by many developers and large companies, for $7.5 billion in stock. On October 2018, just before Copilot announcement, Stack Overflow was just acquired for $1.8 billion. Stack Overflow agreed for this acquisition because in future, many will opt for Copilot and not the Stack Overflow. So now, let's get back to our actual topic. Can programmers be replaced by AI? Let's imagine that the goal was to replace developers with AI programmers. Programmers are expensive and in short supply, and one of the biggest expenses for any tech company. So any company who plans to replace developers with AI programmers takes a 4-step plan. Step 1 will be to ask developers to share their code. In step 2, they use that code to create a product that makes developers happier and more productive. The initial version won't be perfect, but as more and more developers use it, they will collect more and more data and reinforce the existing algorithm. In theory, the algorithm will get so good that we will no longer need programmers who write code, maybe just technicians who can help guide the algorithm to the right place. At which point your company can fire its programmers and pay a bunch of artificial Azure coders. By the second, Copilot is free for now and only available through a technical preview. But they do plan to develop it into a commercial product in the future. So, we are now in step 3 of their plan. AWS already has Code Guru for ML-powered code recommendations. So the big players here are already introducing paid services that will replace the jobs normally done by human coders. We are currently on step 3 of the plan. So AI is not coming. AI is here.